wash my soul in the ocean, in the tears of God, I let it go.
Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, July 2020. And the month starts with an eclipse in your 12th house. The last eclipse, for the last 2 years, there have been eclipses in our 12th house, me being an Aquarius rising as well. So, and Saturn is coming back to our 12th house till the end, till December, basically. So we have a last chance to, first of all, sort out our vices and our the barriers that are subconsciously blocking us from succeeding and moving forward. The 12th house is all those behaviors that are self-sabotaging, your fears, your worries, your mental health, also things, if you believe in past lifetimes, that have happened in the past lifetime that you are not aware of, but that because of those things you have entrenched fears or even paranoias and worries. And Saturn coming back there to the 12th house gives you a last chance to work on those past life issues or early life memories that you have forgotten, and actually to, with the eclipse day, it's a south node eclipse. South node is to release, to let go of, to resolve. With the full moon eclipse, the moon is again about endings. So you have a last chance for the next, especially July will be very strong, but till the end of the year, because an eclipse acts for 6 months and Saturn will be there for 5 months till the end of the year almost. So last chance. Not only chance, but I think you would resolve a lot of problem of your subconscious by the end of the year. I think a lot of you would overcome a lot of things that they're struggling privately with, that they're not officially stating to everyone. Escapist tendencies or unhealthy habits as well, or hidden vices of some sort. You might be fantastic time to start working with a psychologist or as an astrologer, with an astrologer, psychologist, or someone who can look into the depths of your soul and see those hidden motivations that are triggering you. And help you resolve them or remember them. And once you remember, you bring it to the surface and it's no longer so toxic or unconscious. It doesn't trigger those unconscious behaviors. To work on fears, paranoias, on your mental health. So you might even need, to have more times of break as well. Things will get hectic because Mars is moving into a 3rd house. You'll be very busy mentally. But with Saturn and Jupiter and Pluto and an eclipse in your 12th house, there is a huge focus on July on your mental health, and especially on activities that will help you balance this mental health and release you from the grips of, subconscious behaviors or self-damaging behaviors. And that can indicate meditation, that can be prayer, that can be just thinking deep inside. This can be even sleep work. In your sleep you can be resolving, because that's the invisible world, the 12th house. You can be resolving some of your past life issues. I think that a lot of memories will be bubbling to the surface with this eclipse in your 12th house and Saturn, and they have been for the past year or two. From the past, things that you haven't remembered, things that for the past 30 years almost have been happening. You've been mulling over them, thinking over them, remembering them, trying to organize them, put sense in them, and how you stand there to see them from a different point of view. Or even 12th house is house of karmic payback, or paying off something. If it might feel very karmic period for some of you as Aquarius, like almost like you feel you want to move forward, but you feel like you have to retreat back and think and work on yourself. Maybe spend more time isolated, maybe spend more time, kind of introspectively. And that's before December, Jupiter, Saturn, that will conjoin in our sign and will start for us a very active and busy time of coming out of slumber, coming out of our more difficult mental state as well. But there is a last chance now to work on releasing the difficulties of your mental state. Even some addictions can be released over the next 3 to 6 months, with July being a peak. There can be some breakthrough in your consciousness. The 12th house is the house of your level of consciousness. It's not outer behaviors that you're changing. It's something that will shift so fundamentally at the bottom of your soul. You might not, like alchemical process, you might not even be aware of it happening. You just realize that suddenly you are free from something. You might realize that suddenly you are free from some fear, and because Saturn is there, you still have to keep working on it and having some more self-discipline in it till the end of the year, but after that you're fully released. But this eclipse and Saturn coming back to the 12th house triggers it to start this process. On another level, the 12th house is working behind the scenes. Some of you might be preparing for your big coming out, which happens from the end of this year. A lot of Aquarius will have a very big role to play in the next 10 to 20 years, because Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, which determines the political, economical, and social climate of the next 20 years, is happening in our sign in Aquarius. Whether you're Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, it means that almost like the universe is cleaning up for you now, the muck, the old karma, and it does feel painful sometimes for the last 2 years, because you're cleaning up all karma. You're completing things and you find you are stuck and you can't move forward, even though you're ready. But because the universe is saying, wait a little bit more, wait, I need to clean you, wash you clean, to purge you, and to put order in your subconscious, in your mind, to clean it up. Saturn is the cleaner as well. To cleaning up of the unnecessary pain body. We carry the pain body in the 8th house, in the 12th house. Saturn cuts it off with a saw. It's not fast. It doesn't do it like, it does it over 2 years, cutting off the old pain body that we've been dragging with us for past lifetimes. And you're like, oh my God, this is never going to happen. I'm going crazy. My mind is going in circles and loops. My mental health is not good. For some of you, even your health was not good, because of this 12th house, that everything gets dissolved there. You are disoriented. You don't know where you're going, what you're going to do. You know you want a new beginning, but you're still not, the universe is not letting you. It's almost like you have to complete things that have been put in action for the last years first, to clear them up. So some endings might be following, releasing, letting go, but those endings, you're ready for them, guys. With the eclipse, last eclipse there, good time, as I said, work with a psychologist or someone if you can, or do meditations, visualizations. And Saturn and Jupiter have a tendency to crystallize and to make something manifest. But the 12th house is the house of the unmanifested, of the invisible. So it can be a great time from July to the end, to November, to basically make a mind plan or a vision board, to create, to bring out inspiration from the invisible worlds for what the next 30 years are going to be. Of course, you can't think that far ahead, but at least what your path will be for the next few years, you can now crystallize it from your subconscious. You can download it from above. The eclipse opens the doors to the invisible world, so you can download some inspiration, some visions. You can even get messages from departed relatives and loved ones, or angels. You can be working with angels in your private time, with dream work, with meditation, any spiritual practices. You're going to have a lot more like gratitude lists or vision boards, or all of those tools, which are spiritual tools. You can work with them. You can do some spiritual studies and deep reading as well. And also some work you're preparing for, which will be able to start bringing to the world the new you that you will be created from the end of this year. 2021 is our year of Aquarius. And now you're doing the preparatory work. So study, research, look, don't still make the big, huge steps in some totally new direction. It's still not our time, Aquas. We still have to go back a little bit, reminisce, prepare. And talking about eclipses, Victor is making a 12-week course on the moon and everything about the moon, how to interpret eclipses, full moon, new moon, eclipses, north node, south node eclipses. What does it mean to have the moon in houses, in aspects? What phase of the moon are you born in? Are you born on a new moon? What does it mean on a full moon? How to predict the future with the moon? You can do a horoscope just using the moon, and that's a foundational course. You don't need to know much astrology. Check it out. He's an awesome teacher. He gathers 200 people at lectures, so check it out. And at the same time, we're going to have the whole July there's a huge focus on our 6th house as well. So all those planets in the 12th house, we talked about them, that spiritual depth, that changing of consciousness on a deep level, that transmutation of your subconscious. So no other time can you have a deep transformation as now in the next 6 months on the subconscious levels. While on the deep levels, while the Sun and Mercury in your 6th house, till the whole, I would say the whole month. So there is like push and pull between this 12th house that asks you to go within, to become more introspective, to escape the worldly responsibilities, you know, to go into your own inner sanctuary, maybe to go away on a holiday far away, you know, to maybe wishing, you might be dreaming and wishing, I just want to go on an island, or I just want to go to another country, you know, but there is this push and pull. And by the way, Saturn, Jupiter over the next 6 months here, and the eclipse can be the completion of you trying to live in a foreign country or settle in a foreign country, can give you the fruits and can manifest it. That's another material manifestation of it. And some deep research if you're doing. Fantastic time. My mind is deepest when I've had activations of the 12th house, like very deep realizations, almost like downloads on a profound level. That's why research has the best outcomes when Saturn and Jupiter in the 12th house. You have 5 months for that, guys, to complete some research to bring it up to the next level. But the whole July, you have to learn to balance both the desire to escape into your own private sanctuary, maybe to sleep more, with worldly responsibility. You can't escape them. You have duties. You have to wash the kids' bums. You have to, I'm talking about myself now. You have to go to work, and it's bringing a lot of work as well with the 6th house. It's bringing a lot of duties, errands, responsibilities. So you have to balance both. They can be this push and pull. I want to get away and run away, or I want to rest with, oh, I've got so many things to do. I have to fix this. I have to organize the house. I have to, you know, clean up. I have to cook, whatever, you know, or I have so many work duties. So work will be quite hectic as well. There might be a lot of interactions with employees, so with work, especially the first part of July. Mercury is still retrograde in your 6th house. So it means that from the middle of June till the middle of July, you've had, and you're working on correcting some work problems, on fixing some projects that come back to you, or maybe some job can come back to you that you've applied to before the, you know, and till the middle of July, it might come back to you, you know, some work interview, or maybe someone that you have employed, they can come back to you. Or you can also, it can indicate that there is some surprises around your work environment and things not going according to plan. You have a plan to do and schedule to do this and this and this on that day. And while Mercury is retrograde in your 6th house, don't rely fully on that, you know. Your plans with Mercury retrograde in the 6th house of daily activities and schedules and responsibilities, surprises there. You have to be flexible and adaptable in your work environment till the middle, or fix some project that's not working, go over it, or maybe work behind the scenes on some project again, correcting it, perfecting it, crossing the T's and dotting the I's, as they say. But it's also a good time to do some spring cleaning. 6th house is to clean, to organize, and Mercury retrograde wants to put things in order. It might be a good time as well till the middle of the month to revisit old work projects. I said that. Oh, also to get to reorganize your health routines till the middle of the month. You might just re-examine them and say, okay, I need to fix something here. I need to start waking up early, or if something is not working with my plan as I want, I need to stop. You know, some of you 6th house is also connected to addictions, is also connected to behaviors that can put you in trouble. 6th and 12th house are not the easiest houses. Vices and addictions and problems that you have to solve. So you have, again, Mercury retrograde days helping you reorganize. Maybe till it's retrograde, you can decide, okay, I want to start juicing or something like that. read a book on health and inspires you, or read a book on something regarding your health or regarding healthier routines and lives, dig deep in it, and then when Mercury starts moving direct, you'll find it easier and easier to implement those things into your daily routine to make it run smoothly. And some old health problems while Mercury is retrograde can come to the surface, or some health considerations that you can, address by changing your lifestyle. Sixth house health issues are lifestyle related, by your own doing, let's say, by your own habits. So Mercury there is allowing you this. Plus, there is an eclipse in your sixth house, which works on that from June the 21st. And then there is another eclipse. It's a blue moon. Two eclipses within the same sign. Blue moon is not within the same month, it's within the same sign in astrology. So it's almost like the universe says you have to pay a lot of attention this year to the sixth house. I'm giving you an opportunity for 2 new beginnings in that sixth house of health and organization and routine and order and work. Which means that especially from the end of July, from the 21st of July, when Mercury becomes visible there can be the birth of new health routines, the birth of new job opportunities, new work projects for you. This can be the birth of a new employee that if you want to get. Don't take new such things before July 21st. We want Mercury to become visible, to be born in your sixth house, and thereafter a new moon, which is new beginnings, so you can take up totally new health style routines. From then on, you can take up totally new employees, you can take up totally new jobs from then on. Before that, maybe ones that you've known before, or you can complete them, end them, or come back to them, and so forth. Okay, it's a lot of things, I know, with this sixth house. It means a lot of things. All right, and then another big event. Mars is entering your third house. Our third house, guys. It's going to stay there for 6 months, 7 months, till the end of the year. Very hectic. This third house is busy house already, and Mars entering there. I think your mind can start feeling an overdrive from July till the end of the year, with the peak in September, October, November. Plus Mars will be squaring in September, October, November, and even August already. The planets in your 12th house of mental health and third house is also connected to the mind. You'll be like, your mind will be zzz. But Mars rules new things. So you can have some new ideas, some new way of looking at things. Almost like revolutionary in nature. Almost like sudden aha moment. It can feel like that. And that can help to this transformation of your subconscious and the mental health that we were talking about Saturn, Jupiter doing in your 12th house. So you'll have some breakthroughs as well. Mars is speeding up that process, definitely. But you might find it hard to rest, to calm your mind down. It might be good to take something. And third house is nerves, and third house is the lungs. So I want you to be very careful with your lungs. You might be more susceptible to lung infections over the next 6 months. Hopefully there won't be a second wave, but Mars is very strong this year, goes retrograde. There will be probably a second wave. So take your zinc, take your hydroxychloroquine or whatever, take your just make sure your lungs are well, because Mars rules infectious disease and inflammatory conditions. Third house is lungs. We're talking here especially if your ascendant is in Aquarius or your moon is in Aquarius. And also Mars can help you break through smoking habits, third house, because Mars gives willpower. Mars can be, that's it, enough. Or it can help you start some, third house is walking routine, something more active for some sort. On another level, the third house is your opinions. It's your you'll become very vocal about what you want to say. If you've always zip my mouth, I'm not going to say nothing, not to rock the boat. Now you'll be like going and fighting with people on social media. You'll be stating whatever you want to say. A bit of a foot in the mouth. But that's what Mars wants to say. It wants to liberate you about expressing and fighting with words. And with cold crystal logic. Mars is very logical. It's like an engineer. and sharpens the mind a lot, but it can also make you like with words to be biting to others, but you're like, I don't care, I'm biting. But when Mars goes retrograde, September, October, November, be careful, because you can antagonize and fight with quite a few people around you, with relatives, with teammates, with workmates. You can start feeling it from July already, that you're becoming less patient with other people's opinions, with other people's, you want to kind of shock them. You want to tell them in their face, and you'll be directly addressing such issues with siblings, relatives. But be careful, because Mars can create tensions in relationships with siblings. They can create with relatives, with neighbors, with teammates and workmates, with associates as well. And even at some period at the 6 months, you might even decide to break a certain relationship if it becomes too aggressive, too non-compromising. You might want to break up a certain no longer associate with and reevaluate when Mars goes retrograde, such matters. If you're working, you can undertake some project in a small work group, maybe collaborating with 2, 3, 4 people. Business meetings will become a lot more. If you're in business, a lot more business meetings, a lot more communications, a lot more. The amount of third house activities will increase, like lot more phone calls, lots more short trips that you have to take over the next 6 months. Very busy daily routine. On a daily level, go, 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 go. Even though you really want to retreat here in the 12th house and just mull over the past and deeply, introspect and maybe sleep more. But this Mars in the 3rd house says at the same time you have to deal with really fast-paced, changing daily environment. You have to be very up to speed, but Mars, that's what exactly Mars will help you, that you react very quickly with a lot of alertness to a lot of very quickly changing plans in your daily environment, and go and fix problems there. Someone calls you, a client, 3rd house is business as well. A client calls you, you have to go fix it. Or, this email has been hacked, let me fix it. Or, there's something happening with the product. You have to be writing, speaking, it's gonna be intense. On another level, you can be undertaking some 3rd house activity that will obsess you and that will take your full focus for the next 6 months, which means something with marketing, with advertising, with learning a skill, with projects with associates, also with documents, papers, with relocation in a close environment, somewhere close, not too far away in a distant country or whatever. There can be more glitches with travel, transportation, or you can just decide to learn to drive, for example, to finally find the willpower, the force, the courage to learn to drive, 3rd house. But be careful for road accidents with Mars in the 3rd house, because when we drive, we tend to be more kind of go, 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 try not to drive too fast, even though that might be a tendency when Mars is in the 3rd house for the next 6 months. Lots of short trips can happen, undertaking some business projects, website projects as well, that requires a lot of your work, or some teaching projects or training projects. Talking about that, I'm doing my first webinars and courses of 3rd house since 2 years. It took Mars to enter my 3rd house for me to finally get the courage to make a solo webinar again. It's webinar on Mars, how it will affect us for the next 6 months, and it's going to be very personal, how it will personally affect you. I will generate for you a chart for all your transit for the next 6 months, so you can see what transit Mars will do specifically in your chart. Yes, it will be in your 3rd house from Aquarius, but it might square your Sun, or it might conjoin your Venus. What does it mean? How to prepare, some remedies. What is the best course of action? How can you benefit and make the best out of it? So we'll speak about that. It's only $39, plus it's going to be 5 hours. Plus it's perfect because Mars entering your 3rd house, you'll become voracious to study and learn new skills. I mean, Mars loves transiting the 3rd house because Mars is undaunted. It's not afraid to take on new skills. And with enthusiasm, with passion, without fear. And as you know, starting to learn something new requires so much courage. That's why it's known the house of the difficult house, because you're learning difficult things. Even learning to walk and talk is so difficult. And some of you, that's exactly what you'll be learning to do the first steps in something new when Mars starts entering your third house, and you'll have like 6 months to perfect it. So we'll come out of this transit more skillful, more courageous. Mars transiting the third house makes you it's extremely courageous. In Vedic astrology, third house, and we use Western though, but in Vedic astrology, third house is the house of courage. With Mars transiting there, you're gonna feel more courageous to tackle things you're afraid about, to speak up your whatever you believe, to initiate things, very initiative, and self-starting business as well is Mars in the third house. Third house is to self-start business, because it's the gains, is the second house from the second. It's your skills, so money you can make through your skills. So you can initiate some activity or some project that requires a lot of your focus, a lot of your razor-like focus and soldier-like willpower to create some self-starting business, a website, or to create the whole marketing around it, the whole product, some branding. It's all third house activities. This third house is, or maybe you can initiate starting to make videos, media, social media, blogging, vlogging, writing, to put your, third house rules all of those things, and Mars gives you the courage to do all of those things. So very hectic with such activities. I hope it's not hectic with you having to fix your car all the time. But it's, there's some very positive way it can play out. But join me on the course. On the 1st of July, if you can watch it live, it will be recorded, you can see it, and you'll receive your 6 months of free transits, plus how it will affect you personally in the video you will see. And last but not least, we have Venus in our 5th house for the whole of July, which is great because it means we can have some fun, and you can have some loving. For some of you, it can mean meeting new love interests. Venus is with the North Node, Rahu, which can be, and Venus is visible, moving direct. Venus is the planet of love in the 5th house of love, with the planet Rahu of passion and foreign people or new people. Or it can just mean some new passion or hobby that you start developing. Or it can also mean that you're just having a lot of fun time playing with your children, or they're easier, or just some more romantic time with your romantic partner. Or that you're really enjoying some creative process and creative hobby that you're kind of enjoying that process. So thank you so much, Aquarius. And do check your personal transits. I do personal transits for each. They're for free for 7 days ahead. You can see them. Just there is a link below. You'll see the video that advertises the personal transit calendar that 40,000 people are using around the world, and no one else in the world has the same transits as you.